Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for attending our next episode of Masters of Product. I'm very excited to do part 2 with Yu Ying, in which in part 1, we actually use vibe coding to design a Kanban board for task managers. In part 2, we're going to talk about how you can integrate it with Slack. But before we get into all those details, allow me to reintroduce you to my friend. She used to be the head of AI at Peak Six, where she was responsible for all things AI for a financial services company. Prior to that, she was the chief product officer at Barnes & Nobles. And now she has decided to come over to the dark side and join me as an independent consultant where she helps companies help adopt AI. As for me, my name is Mustafa Kapadia, your host. I run Echo Point, where I help product teams figure out how to use AI to be more effective and more efficient. And you can learn more about my services at echo-point.com. More importantly, you can learn more about all the things I talk about at echo-point.com. But if it's okay with you guys, let's jump right into it, please. Yu Ying and I have been working on these things for quite some time. And, when she told me that she's been vibe coding her way out of how to make her team more productive, I'm like, you know what, you need to come on the show. So like I said, in part 1, she designed a task manager, and she's going to give you a quick overview on that one. And then in part 2, we're actually going to figure out how to integrate that task manager with Slack so that now you don't even have to go and look at the Kanban board. The Kanban board comes to you. So with that being said, Yu Ying, thank you for coming back.
So happy to show you the second part. Like we got to do the first part, but I actually had it running with the team for quite a few months, and I tell you,
I'm actually curious. I'm curious to see how it's going because you're right. Because last time we talked when we did part 1, it was almost a month and a half ago. So it'd be curious to see how things are going with there. But before we jump into, for our listeners out there, please drop into the comment. Let me know where you're listening from. We love to hear from you. And of course, this is live and interactive. So ask us questions. It's much more fun when we get curveball questions. So please let us know where you're from. And then we can jump right into it.
Yeah. So I'm in LA and you're in San Fran today?
San Francisco. Yeah. So we're on the West Coast. It's nice and sunny and bright outside. Well, at least over here.
Yeah. LA too.
Perfect. Yu Ying, while we have our friends introduce themselves, why don't we do you want to quickly walk them through what we did in part 1, just so that we actually have some foundations for people? And what I will do is I will add the link to part 1 in the chat as well, so that you guys can refer to it at your leisure.
Yeah. So I'll click over. Wait, do you have the present screen up?
Yes. Let me put you on stage.
Okay, great. So as you guys know, within the company, we have a lot of platforms. So we had Jira, we had Monday, we tried GitHub issues. I don't know if you guys get in this, but no matter what I did, my team refused to use those platforms. They absolutely refused Jira, Confluence. I tried GitHub issues. I'm like, you're devs, you could do that. Nope, don't like it either. Monday.com, they were okay with it for a while, and then I needed some features that I could not find. I got very frustrated. So I said, you know what? All I need is really 5 features. Well, our small team, very specific use case.
Right.
Let me just make something that has the 5 things that I need and not 100 features that I can't find. Right. So last time we did exactly that, and you guys saw how quick it was in terms of creating something that is super specific. And that's my whole point of, when you only need 5 features. You don't need to write 100. You just, the team members all put it in. So this was lovable. So this is, I think we kind of hit the vibe coding trend a little bit early, but it's a super simple. When you can see, I put myself, I put Mustafa in here, I've added some other people, and that's it. Very simple Kanban board, and mine is actually arranged a little differently than you're used to, but it's whatever I want. Right.
What I like about what you just shared with us is the fact is that now you can do that, right? You're not beholden to companies like Monday.com or Jira or whatever. You can basically design your own productivity tools or whatever tools for that matter, because you may need only the 2 or 3 features. So why pay for the 25 other features, right?
Yep.
So I love the fact, and I think a lot of companies and a lot of people are actually following that trend.
And it's simpler. The guys actually do look at it and use it because it's
Yeah,
simpler. Only has
it's
a
simple.
and you saw I just I had the normal drag and drop. We're doing the LinkedIn live event right now. So yeah,
Yeah.
I dragged it into now. So that's where we ended up last time, right? Now, like I said, it's a small team. I want them to interact with it. I don't want to implement users and permissions, which you could totally do.
Yep.
Not the easiest thing to do. You kind of understand all those
No,
things.
I remember that we ran into some problems over there last
And also, you know what? In the end, what they do is they slack me. They go, Ewing, what am I doing today?
time.
I have boards. They still go, Ewing, what am I doing today?
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys can relate.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, really? Here we go. I'll put it
Yeah.
in the
So
Slack.
even after you've designed a board for them to make it very easy, they still want to be told what to do because they're too lazy to go on the board, basically. That's
You
your
know,
developers for you. Hey, listen, I love them, but you know what? Sometimes they're like my little kids. So
they're really good at what they do, and it's
yeah,
not, to track tasks. So
yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm like,
yeah.
whatever. If you guys still slack me, all right, here we go. Let me give
Yeah,
you.
like just tell me what to do. Stop bothering me. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's why we ended up going, okay, I have this going. This is great for me. I'm visual. I like to rearrange. I like to plan. I like to look at it and be like, wow, David's not doing anything. Mustafa's only got one thing. Let me move some stuff around.
Yeah.
I like it visual. They're like, no, you ain't tell me what am I doing. Okay.
Mustafa has only one thing is by design because you know
Yeah.
what you give the least task to the person who is the most incompetent. So
Yeah.
so,
There's actually a rule behind it that says if
yeah,
Mustafa task greater than one, just move the Ewing.
yeah. I want to get to the point of task greater than 0 move. So
Yeah. Okay. So we ready to get started on the Slack thing?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
So before we go into that, why don't we tell the audience what you're gonna do, and then we'll show them how to do.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is create a Slack app that talks to this board that you can ask about your tasks. You can add
Right.
tasks, delete, and modify. The very simple, normal. Can it do more? Sure, if you want to add the feature, but that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show
Perfect.
it half live. All right. Okay. First thing first, we're all like, vibe coding, Lovable is awesome, Replit Bold, it's so cool. You know what? None of them create a Slack app.
That's correct.
They're all web app. You're looking at it, it's beautiful. Okay, what do I do? This is where I go. I'm like, let's go back to the basics.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to, I know, I'm like, I should have cleared it. I'm using Gemini in this case. I can use any of the chatbots.
I'm surprised you used Gemini, not Claude, because Claude seems to be the preference. No?
So Gemini 2.5 Flasher Pro, I've become a fan.
Really? Tell me more.
I have. So in terms of coding, so I get pretty deep in my vibe coding, and I have broken it with Claude, and then I put in Gemini 2.5 Pro to come in and fix it at a much higher level.
Okay.
So you guys remember Gemini has the much longer context.
Yes.
Which means if you need like much bigger context to solve things holistically, that's the only one that goes that far. The other ones, the context starts to compress and you start to lose track. And so if it's more and more complicated. So when I got to the point where I broke it with Claude, I went to Gemini and it
interesting.
back in. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it because almost 9 out of 10. I won't even say 9. 99% of the people swear by Claude. So yeah. I want to see Gemini in action. So, and by the way, I should be proud. I ex-Googler here, so that's good.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna be like, well, just for you, Mustafa. But no, actually, it's good. It's getting good. So I'm not. I always talk about Claude. Claude is good at a lot of things, but I did this one for Gemini. It literally goes, walk me through step by step how I create a Slack app that allows me to talk to my Supabase database that stores my tasks. I gotta say something about that because I kind of skipped over a little thing.
Yeah.
Cool. This is the UI, but the only reason that you and I can interact with this is that the task data is not on my computer. Right? It's actually in a database, and that is integrated automatically by
With Lovable. Yeah.
With this little guy right here, so you couldn't see that.
Yeah.
Right? And if I show you what this is, you'll be like, oh my God, that is so simple. This is literally the table, the database. You're like, yeah, I get that. That's understandable enough. Here's my task. Got some description, status, and assignees. And you go, okay, if you think through what you want the Slack app to do, you basically want to go, tell me all my tasks, write me a new one, right? So do I really need to talk to this? Not really. I just need to know the data. I just needed to talk and to so which is why you see my little prompt there. Walk me step by step. Number one, how do I create a Slack app? Because I don't know how. That allows me to talk to my Supabase database that stores my tasks. Now I could have just said, how do I create a Slack app? And it'll step me through that and then go through the other one. But that's a little bit context for why this little prompt is the way it is. Okay. So one of the things I like, of course, is it gives you these steps.
Yeah.
All the way. So if I summarize it, this one actually displayed it a little bit differently. So I'll have to. So there is setting up your Supabase database. I'm like, oh, actually, so I'm already done with that. So let me just skip that entire.
Actually, do you mind if I ask you a question on the first prompt that you put together?
Yeah.
Because when you asked it for walk me through step by step how I create a Slack app, you didn't actually ask it to write code.
I did not.
It actually wrote code for you anyways.
It did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's not usually, you don't see that with OpenAI or with Claude. They will actually give you the steps that you see on the left-hand side. Then you have to tell them to please write the code, and then it will do that.
Yep.
Does that happen to you all the time, or is this just how AI is? Depending on what side of the bed they wake up, sometimes they respond this way, sometimes they respond that way.
Yep, because I'll show you what it did last time. It's a little bit different. The last time that I did this.
You guys know that we're a bunch of nerds, right? Because we can actually look at a prompt and say, oh, why did it do it this way?
So you can see exact same prompt. Doesn't say the time. So I don't know when this was. But look how it did this, which I really liked. It goes, oh, well, here's the things you should do. Here is the step-by-step guide of building the app.
What happens when you hit open? Does it give you steps or does it give you code? Oh, it gives you steps.
Here's the step-by-step, right? And now you're seeing the similarity of the content. Okay, so set up your Supabase database, right? So I didn't tell it that I'm already done. Step 2, set up your Slack app, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, I already have that. So I'm going to start with this step-by-step. Now, one of my favorite things about here.
Yeah.
It has the URL. I'm like, oh my God. So one thing in terms of Slack, of course, Slack workspaces are free. So
yeah,
a lot of, you might have a Slack community. I built one for like my old team, just, to socialize, etc. Right. So very accessible. But I may not necessarily know where to get to actually create an app. Never done it before. Nice little URL. Now, of course, I will show you guys but I'm like, oh, okay. Then I did this yesterday in the afternoon. I literally go, okay, click create new app. Got it. Click create new app. All right. Choose from scratch. Okay.
There you go.
From scratch. So the good thing is, I didn't have to actually create the Slack app before because internally the devs had already created a Slack app. I just had to hook it together. So I didn't know how to do this before yesterday. I literally, that's why I ask for the step-by-step guide. I literally go, okay, 1, 2, click here, give it a name, click here. So this is a very low barrier and yes, meticulous. Okay, step 1, step 2. Oh my God, I don't even know what a socket mode is, but I can, I'll click on it. So if you look at what that it's a lot of steps. This, if you just came to it, very intimidating. If somebody goes, click here, select
Yeah.
like, okay, click here, socket mode. That was the next step. And I have to turn it on. There's a switch. Oh, there's this. Oh, this is already on. Great. I'm finished with that step. I know this is a little, but I followed all of this.
Yes.
I'm adding permissions. I'm doing things I never thought I would have to do. All of this, signing secret. I'm copying all of these things. And it actually tells you at the very top when you change anything to install the app.
Nice.
So, or you can just go reinstall. I'm going to reinstall my app since I already installed it. You'll see something like this. Now, at this point, this thing obviously doesn't work. It's just I set up a little app. But I like to test these things. I like to make sure that, hey, I actually have a little app in my little workspace. This is Yuying Slack. This is great.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we're a team, Mustafa.
Yeah.
And you can find it in here, and it'll show. And if you're like, I can't find it, I basically go and ask.
Can I ask you when Gemini gave you the step-by-steps, which by the way is this is impressive because I think the level of detail, I don't even know if Claude can give this level of detail. Did you find them to be any steps that are misleading or confusing?
No. So everything, the good thing about, and the reason, of course, I tested it out and it worked, that's why I was using it. Otherwise, I would have changed the AI and told you guys not to use Gemini. Each step was accurate, and what they said was the title of the button to click on was accurate. Now, I have asked this of Lovable before while I'm doing something. I'm like, if I need to set up something else, please tell me step by step what to do. And a lot of times, so Lovable is connected to Supabase, and its step by step of if I have to do anything in Supabase is not always accurate. Like I can't find it when they go click here, and I'm just like, no, you can't do that to me. This was accurate, but there's a but. It was missing a few things. It was missing a few setup. Now, this is at the point where it really doesn't know what I'm trying to do. So I wouldn't have expected it. So there was event subscriptions that needed to be configured here for you to be able to talk to it inside Slack like a person, right? At this point, it doesn't know. So it didn't have that piece for the setup. It was something I had to debug and figure out, like, it's in place. Why isn't it talking to me? And it goes, oh, well, check your permissions. Then we worked it through. So this is up front. So that means it won't have necessarily every config.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't
what that tells me is that maybe we need to be much better at telling it, not just tell you step by step, but what it is that you're trying to build. I don't want to use the word PRD, but in many ways, describe what you're trying to build so it can then, because I'm sure the debugging process, which is everybody I talk to who vibe coding, they always complain about the debugging process.
Oh, yes. I got some tips too. But you're right on the PRD. So there's two different approaches. Obviously, I took the extremely iterative approach, right? So where I go, I just want the really, really basic, can I even make a Slack app?
Right.
Okay. Because I have a Lovable. I know the data's there. I know I can add tasks. I know I can see it. So I know that piece works. I've never had to do a Slack app, so I just wanted like the simplest, most basic thing. Go, can I follow directions and get one installed that shows up? Right, that was it. I was like, if this part works, then I can do the rest. If this part doesn't work, it doesn't matter what all the like how I wanted to behave. Or you know the details and you put it up front, and it will give you much more complete once through.
That's a shout out to all my product managers because that's exactly what a PRD is. To tell you what up front. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I would tell you across the board, if the more detail you have up front, you can follow it through like in one shot and it'll work.
Perfect. I'm gonna test it out with Gemini because I have not. But this tells me what I'm gonna do this weekend. So
yeah, I have the working app to prove it. So I was like, this is not like no affiliation to Google as much. I know I met Mustafa after, I believe. Uh, okay. So I got the little Slack app.
Yep.
You guys saw. So I did all of this. This, of course, there was like 17 steps to set all of these because I just literally step by step click it through. Okay,
Perfect.
I installed it. Oh, I just realized, you guys are not able to see my Slack, are you?
No. Do you want me to put it up on the screen?
I gotta share it first. Hold on. Let me just share the entire screen because I think. Where is the Slack? All right. So I showed you guys after the install when you're in the apps here.
Right.
My little Ewing's task is here, and then you add it, and then it shows up here. Of course, I didn't make any fancy icons. This is just,
Yep.
super simple and boring. And, I made a channel, I added to it, etc. Okay. So we just did that. And right now you're seeing the final working. But nothing would
Nice.
work at this point. Right. Okay. I know, going back again. All right. So, in terms of the Supabase, since I already have it built, I grabbed some of the information from within Supabase, so it knows to connect very specifically. Right. So you need to know the project ID and the key, etc. Those it'll step by step walk you through. Right. Okay. This.
So you build the Slack app just following that, and now are you doing the step 2 with the connecting to the database?
Right. So you see here, it actually tells you how to set it up if you don't have it set up. So let's you can just copy. You will literally copy and paste. Go click new project, create new project, copy this into the SQL and set that up with Yui Masaba, David,
Nice.
Polly. Get the credentials. Oh, it's over here. You saw me click on project settings. Click on that. I did this in reverse order. So my Supabase is already there, which then means I need the code. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing with the code. Let me go back to, if we look at the, interesting, that just went away. All right, we'll stay with this one then.
Huh? It didn't save it. That's weird. You might have to. Sometimes I have to hit refresh and then it shows up.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go to the step with the. Okay. So a part of what it did was generate this code, right? Which you can run it in here, but really, I need to run it. So what I do is you have to follow these steps right here. So where's the? There we go. I literally this is one of those simple ones. You can tell there's only one file here. It's not the most complicated thing there is. I just copy that. I know I made us a little. Okay, go. I am. Am I sharing? Okay, that's why.
Yeah. I believe you're sharing your entire screen now.
Yeah, let me just go do the entire screen. So I just create.
I'm curious, while you were doing this yesterday afternoon, what was the hardest part? Was it debugging part that you just talked about, or where was the biggest challenge for you?
It was the debugging.
Hmm.
Following the step by step was not. It was just meticulous to make sure that I didn't miss a particular step or misread
Right.
it. So
Hmm.
I am doing. It's hard to. So I could just open a text file and save it in.
Right.
This is, we're going to call, this is that the file name right here. Now I use it in here for a specific reason. You don't have to, you can just use any text
Right.
editor. Okay, so I'm just pasting that entire thing. Right.
Nice.
So that, I just have the whole file. Did I read it? No, I didn't read it. And the other thing that so it has this file on the side, but it actually has detailed steps on the left for the entire piece of, hey, look, you know what? You got to install Node.js npm.
Right.
No idea what any of those means.
Right.
But I'm copy and pasting my directory now. Mine is not named Slack Supabase AI task. Mine is that task Slack app.
Yep.
I do the install, click, 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 and this will read and it will install. Right?
Nice.
So I literally, like I was doing before, I was going one at a time, step by step.
Yeah.
What do I got to do? So I'll
Hmm.
show you. This is, so we saw the other one where I just copied down the file.
Yeah.
I follow the steps of all the install. You can see everything else it puts into my folder here. I don't have the details. Like I don't
Yeah.
have to understand technically. I was following it up step by step. Okay.
I guess the question is that, this works great if you're at least technically inclined.
You need to be not technically afraid.
I guess that's the distinction, right? Because one of the powers of vibe coding, whatever you want to call it, I don't know what's going to be called in the future, but building. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're building out of thin air.
Right.
Is that there's a lot of builders out there who are not technical, right?
Yeah.
They have these great ideas, and now AI allows them to unleash those ideas, right?
I mean, that's partly why I always do this step by step, and I want to show this because I want to say you don't have to have that background if you're really good at following directions step by step. So I finally found it's a very long instruction. The specifics of how all of those installed. Like it goes, I'm literally copy and pasting
Right.
over into my terminal. You will have to know what a terminal is.
Yeah.
But once you know that it's in here, and every computer has it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, make yourself a nice little folder. You literally copy and paste, and I do mean one at a time. Now, I like to change names of folders, but I literally copy paste.
Nice.
npm init dash. Do I really know what npm is? Well, I've done it a few times now that it's always this.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and the other thing is you can always ask AI what it is. So it's not like it's not like you're going blind. You can say, what does this do, or what does install? And
yeah.
and so you're not doing it.
Exactly. The thing I like about the step by step is now I can learn. It is not, it's pretty much if you can copy and paste and you go step by step. Okay, I do that. I install. I create a .env file. I copy and place and replace placeholder values with my, and so it actually tells you, because this is where I got those from the step above.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the env file. The app.js, we just did that. I'm like, okay, I've got my steps. I'm good with this one. That literally sets all of that up. And all I did was follow instructions, and I asked it to give me really good instructions.
I think that's good. And I think that is one of those best practices that you kind of have to learn on your own, right? Because a lot of people, when they think about vibe coding, they just go in and say, can you build this for me? And then they have a hard time because they have no idea what code has been written, especially if they're not technically inclined. Then you spend more time debugging, and that's why most people give up. But this idea about doing step by step and some of the other best practices that you've talked about, I think that does make the process easier. And then what you said earlier is 100% true, is that you're actually learning.
Yeah,
right?
That's the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
This right now, the Gemini 2.5 is good. Does it mean it never makes a mistake or never hallucinate? Nobody can guarantee that.
Yeah.
If you just blindly go through everything and not go, okay, I understand what that step did. I saw it. I see it. Okay. You'll get better over time.
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to show the end demo because it also talks you through how to actually run the code.
Perfect.
We did all of those things. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you guys to see. Right. So, this is, can you see it's literally node app.js, but it is one of the commands that goes, here's how you run it.
Yes.
Okay. It goes, hey, look at that. It's running. All right, cool. It's running.
Awesome.
There you go. Okay. Go all the tasks. And I'm thinking, and here's all my tasks.
There you go. Right?
Yeah. And then we can add a task here. Add a new task called, what do we want to add a task?
Learn more vibe coding this weekend.
Learn more vibe coding this weekend. It's in the backlog. All right, let's go see. It's in the backlog.
The moment of truth.
The moment of truth. Look at this.
There you go.
More. Yeah, so, right, because now, of course, anybody who doesn't want to deal with, be like, Ewing, what am I doing today? It could be Ewing tasks. What am I doing today? I could have renamed it Ewing. But
that's good. And I'm assuming in Slack, you can also assign it to somebody, right? So instead of it going to backlog.
Yes, you can change, assign it. You can put it in different statuses. Whatever features you have in, I have drop down on the UI to change statuses, where I can just drag and drop, or I can in Slack go delete that. No, I'm not doing that this weekend.
Yeah. Have you? I know this is just something that we built now this afternoon, but when you were doing it at Peak 6, did you actually have the Slack be proactive, in which they would actually send a message every morning about what the developers should be working on?
Yeah. So what you can do, it's a more advanced integration, but Slack has workflow. I'm like, Slack has all the functionality that I don't need to build if I just hook it to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can set a workflow every morning. Instead of them going, Ewing, what am I doing? I could be like, David, this is what you're doing today.
Yes. Before they even show up to the office at 6:01 a.m., they have a Slack message.
Right before stand-up, or right when stand-up starts.
Yes. Boom. I like that. And so I'm curious, what we talked about earlier is that your team has been using this for quite some time now. What has been their experience? What do they like? What do they not like? Or how has this changed over time?
So, number one, they're finally using it.
Yes, adoption is a big, I agree.
Yeah, because what else are they doing instead? They're going, Ewing, what am I doing today?
Yeah.
What am I doing this week? So now they just go, yes, I do have mine renamed, not Ewing, so it's not that confusing. But
yeah.
AI Ewing, what am I doing today?
AI mini me.
It's simple to add other people, because Slack already has all the user management. So I don't really have to think about it, right? We've had contractors, part-time, or even stakeholders that want to see only a portion of our stuff. So I just add them.
Right.
So they only see a portion of our stuff. I don't want to expose everything we're working on in case they go, why are you working on that? Why don't you work on more of our stuff? I don't need them to see that. But I added a filter for when those people come in, when they ask about tasks, all they see and all they get answers to are the ones just for them. Now, I'm sure you guys have experienced this with like, well, this is the client facing list.
Yes.
One that they need to know. They don't need
There's
to
the
know.
client relation list, there's the real list, and then the list that we actually don't look at because that's too silly.
Right. And I don't have to keep 2 copies up to date, because I was like, oh my God, why is this so hard? It should just be a little filter and go, if these guys, only show them the subset. But yeah, so they actually use it. It's super easy to onboard new people. They're like, oh, Slack, talk to it. I could do that.
Perfect.
I don't have to
love
teach
that.
anybody. It's my news on why is now next. And they're,
Yeah.
the Apple converted. But yeah, I actually had usage after kind of getting through every platform we had access to, and nobody uses it.
One of the things you mentioned is finally after they adopted it. I'm curious, what did you have to do to finally get them to adopt it? Because, you and I talk about it, it's almost like a no-brainer. Like, why would not you use it? But people have a whole bunch of reasons why they don't use it. So I'm curious what you guys did to finally get over that adoption hump.
In the end, is you fit into their existing workflow, what they're already doing.
Yeah.
Right? This is not part of their job. So if you can put it inside what they're totally doing it. So I was like, okay, well, they're going to ask me every day in Slack like this. So it should be in Slack. If they're not asking you in Slack, then you should put it somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah. The less change from their side, the better, right? It's just like, instead of you, it's you plus AI.
Yeah.
So
we talked a little bit about debugging earlier. I did write down, obviously it didn't all just click because it wasn't a detailed PID up front. It wasn't just, hey, everything worked directly. So I wrote down some best practices for debugging.
Yes.
Okay. One of my favorite things to do in debugging is to take screenshots of it doing the wrong thing.
Oh, yes. And then you can feed it in and say, why is it doing it and how to fix it.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, at this point, you can debug with anything. Like, I showed that I had my code in Visual Studio, but I actually did a lot of my debugging in Claude, in Gemini, for a couple of reasons. Number one, they have web search, right? So I could be like, that didn't work. Double check the Slack page of documentation, and here's the URL, and here's a screenshot of it not doing what I thought it should do.
Yeah. It's amazing. You have to have these best practices, these tips and tricks to get the most out of it, right? I think it's awesome. Listen, I know we only have 5 minutes left. So I know you launched a course on Maven to just help people do that. Why don't you take a few minutes and just talk about that? And then also, I'm very excited about the new lightning lesson that you're launching, which, by the way, is completely free that people can attend. Why don't you talk about that before we actually, and unfortunately, have to end the show?
Yeah. So obviously, I think the abilities of AI to be able to do this unlocks so many things for people who don't code, but they don't necessarily know how to do it. So I launched a weekend bootcamp, so you can figure it out in a weekend.
Perfect.
What you can do, how much you can do. Is it going to be a side hustle? Is it going to be you solving a problem at work? Right? It's called MIT Mom Ruins Vibe Coding.
I love it.
Yeah, we'll break one weekend. So 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday. And then you can decide, great, I'm going to go make one of these. I'm going to go write a guitar tutorial that I wrote for my husband or something else, right?
So it's basically for anybody who wants to build something, this is a great way to get started, right? If you have an idea, come to the course, and the course will tell you how to use all of these tools and make it give you the best practices and the processes. So by the end of the weekend, you could have
a project
ready to go,
going,
right?
You could have one up and going. If you do, I will help you debug along the way, because some of this you gotta debug your own. So that's the full boot camp. And to get
and when is that boot camp start? Just for our
that
audience.
is a weekend boot camp, July 19 and 20.
Oh, perfect. Oh, so it's just coming up. Yeah. So yes, people need to sign up. Yeah. Good.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And to get started, the free lightning lesson is 30 minutes on basically when you're not technical, how do you start so you don't go in and just break everything up front or it actually goes in the direction that you want. You kind of saw me do it a little bit with Gemini, which had zero prep, but there are better ways to start if you are not technical. I do come with some of that knowledge, but that's what I'm going to show on the lightning lesson.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference if you have, and you know, I'm of course partial to PRDs, but if you actually have more context, that helps.
Yeah,
right? You just tell them what to do.
Right? Because you teach that, don't you?
No.
No.
I think that's awesome. And when's the lightning lesson?
The lightning lesson is the week right before that. It's the 12th. It's either the 12th or 13th of, wait, hold on, I'm looking at. Yeah, sorry, it's the 11th of July.
Perfect.
I'm like, am I looking at the right month? Yes, I'm looking at the right. Yeah.
You know what we'll do is at the end of the show, I'll add it to the comments, or you can add it to the comments. And this way people have places that they can go to. So number one is if you want to learn how to code and you're not a coder, this is the best place to get started, right? Because trust me, you and I, neither one of us are coders. We're coder adjacent.
Very adjacent.
But we're not coders or developers. That's probably why they don't like us.
Yeah.
But if you have an idea that you want to build, this is a great place to get started. Regardless if you want to join the course or not, you should definitely join the lightning lesson because I think you're going to learn a lot. And I actually do think that these subtle best practices that we talk about can make or break your, not just your idea, but more importantly, your experience with vibe coding, right?
I almost guarantee it because I've seen that with my business executives trying to do this.
Yeah, exactly. I think you need it. I think you need something like that to just help you get going, because that's the only way we're going to get to this point in which this is just going to be the way people work. So you might as well get started, right? But unfortunately, we're out of time. I think this is good. We need to probably have a part 3 sometime about how to do this. I know there's lots of new ideas that you have. So hopefully one of those ideas we can bottle up and we can have another episode in which you actually show people how to do things.
Happy to.
Great. Perfect. Well, thank you for being an awesome guest or a repeat guest. We will have to get you back. And good luck with the course and definitely the lightning lesson. I'm looking forward to it myself. So
awesome.
All right. Have a good time, guys. Bye for now.